Aloha and welcome to number 2 of our Miracle Body series. So happy that you're here to join us today. I would really love to give you the month of July to really consider the amazing organ of your spleen and what it has to do with love for your own self. So first of all, I'm going to tell you about your spleen. Your spleen is this beautiful little organ that sits right under what's called your splenic flexure, where your colon literally turns right underneath it. So your spleen is a little red blood cell reservoir, and it's a nursery for red blood cells and lymphocytes. So they literally mature in your spleen before they're released into the system. Your spleen also happens to be your immune system communicator, and so if you are having an infection or an illness, your immune system is out and your white blood cells are out there, your army's out there fighting for you, yay army, and the spleen is back there monitoring what's going on, always paying attention, counting red blood cells and being ready. And so as soon as the spleen registers in the immune system that the infection or the illness is over, it shoots instructions at 248 miles per hour to your pineal gland, which sits in the middle of your brain. Your pineal gland then shoots instructions that rapidly to your adrenals, beautiful little walnut-shaped organs that sits right on top of your adrenals. And your adrenals then release the natural steroid into the system to suppress white cell production. And then your spleen releases all these new, highly oxygenated red blood cells into the system to bring your body back into balance after any illness or injury. This is when we feel better, but we're still a little bit tired after we're recovering, when we're in our final stage of recovery. That's your spleen doing its job. So I want you to send a lot of blessings and gratitude to your beautiful spleen for what it does to keep you healthy and happy. Now, what is it that humans do to cause your spleen to be out of balance and therefore affect your immune system? Does any of you out there worry about what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen next week at that meeting? What's going to happen next? What am I going to say at that event? How am I going to work it all out? Is it really supported? Am I supported? What are we going to do? Oh my gosh. And so what happens is when we do this thing called worry, we flip our mind into this thing called tomorrow, which does not exist. And the body works quantum physics. So by quantum physics, the brain does not know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. And so if we're imagining that next week is real and we're going to try to figure out what's going to happen next week, we're insane. Humans are the most insane species on the planet, by the way, because so many are always wondering what's going to happen tomorrow from our past and the projection that we miss our now. And so the spleen responds to all of that, and therefore that's your immune system. So that's what I want to tell you about the spleen, is it also matures lymphocytes there. And so your lymphatic system is your immune system that runs through your entire system. I want you to understand the majority of your lymphatic tissue is centered around your navel out, so huge amounts in your gut area. This is the area that also does the potassium and sodium exchange between red blood cells and lymphocytes. So there's always this communication happening. When we worry again, the immune system can't hear us, and so therefore it doesn't know when to shut down. So when people have what we call autoimmune system dysfunctions, what happens is their immune system is so aggressive that it's not shutting off, and the only thing the AMA has to help us out is steroids or an anti-inflammatory. So what we want to understand is, why is our body not shutting itself down and attacking us, causing things like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, MS, cystic fibrosis, all kinds of autoimmune lupus, autoimmune system diseases. And so we can correct these ourselves if we understand we have to learn to get out of the tomorrows and get back in this beautiful, delicious moment with the beauty all around us. And so we want to pay more attention to what's going on now. And here's how you do it. So what we need to have you understand is every human body feels fear in the same area, which is right here in your gut. So I want you all to do a toolbox with me. So I want you all to pretend right now that you're on the front seat of a 12-story roller coaster. not in the back, but in the front. You have the bar to hold you down, and you hear that clicking sound so the train doesn't go backwards, and it goes click, click, click as you go up 5 stories higher, 8 stories higher, 10 stories higher, 12 stories, and you're about to drop 12 stories down. Whoom! Where do you all feel that in your body? Right here in your gut, right? This is our fear center. And now that we understand this, we now use this and turn it into a tool, okay? So whenever you feel the energy of fear here in your gut area, what you're going to do is you're going to stop whatever you're doing. If you're driving, you pull over. Put your hand on your belly. So everybody do this with me, and raise your belly with your breath. So inhale, belly goes out. Exhale, belly goes in. Exhale, belly, inhale, belly goes out. Exhale, belly goes in. Okay, and when we relax and move breath into our belly, and not up here, but down here, what happens is we relax this magnificent shelf organ of a diaphragm, and we stop immediately the adrenaline fight or flight response. And how awesome is that, to know you can keep your adrenals healthy and by just belly breathing? And so this is an important factor. And then you ask yourself 5 questions. So everybody ask yourself right now, what do you hear? So right now I hear the river and birds and breezes. So pay attention to what you hear in your environment. What do you see right now? You might be seeing me, aloha. You might be seeing something in your room. You might be looking at your computer. You might notice things on your desk or around you. What do you smell right now? Just feel it in your senses. What do you taste in your mouth right now? What do you feel on your body right now? You feel clothing on your body, or breezes, or something around you. And in this moment, what do you have to fear? Nothing. Isn't that fun? You are completely free of fear in this moment. And how would your life be if you knew that you could live the rest of your life with nothing to fear ever again? Because this is how it feels. And then you say this mantra: where I am, God is. Where God is, I am. There's a passage I came across many years ago that said, I was regretting the past and fearing the future. And I know you all never do that, do you? Suddenly, my Lord was speaking. My name is I am. When you live in the past with its mistakes and regrets, it's hard. I'm not there either. My name is not. I was. When you live in the future with its problems and fears, it's hard. I'm not there either. My name is not. I will be. But if you live in this moment, it is not hard. I am here. My name is I am. So it's real important that you understand that every time you feel lost and alone and separate and disconnected, it's because you're not in the now. You're someplace else where your brain thinks it should be there, but really you need to get back in your body, in your temple, in your breath, so your spleen can help your immune system catch itself. Release the natural steroid, suppress white cell production, and bring your body back into an awesome, perfect balance. So one great thing I really want you to understand about the spleen too is the emotion that causes its harm, other than worry, is this thing called lack of self-love, because it is your self-love center. And it's not about other people's love for you that keeps your immune system strong. It's about your own self-love. And it's not about your love that keeps their immune system strong either. It's their love that keeps their own immune system strong. So this is the time you want to amp up your own self-love. So this month, for the month of July, 4th of July, celebration of independence and all of this, let's do some independence for yourself. Let's do how much more can you love yourself this month. So be really nice to give yourself assignments every day. How much can I love myself today? So you bring your immune system back into a perfect balance. So this can be done with a beautiful bath once in a while. Yes, you guys can take a bath too with bubbles if you want to. Breathe. This is nurturing. Take a walk. Go do something you haven't done before, just to kind of amp up your new experience level. If you have a chance to go spend some time with some friends, go watch a fun movie, do something just for yourself, just because you love yourself, because you're worth it. And watch how your immune system will benefit. Your immune system will say thank you. Be in the now. On angelfarms.com, you can download, on our freebies download, you can download Angel Instant Fear Release Technique, which is that process I just talked to you about how to get yourself back in the now. Those of you with autoimmune system issues, this is a very powerful tool for you to get back in the now, so your immune system can catch itself and not be run amok, where it's not listening and not releasing the natural steroid to suppress white cell production. And this is very important for you to pay attention to. Other ways to love yourself. One of the things is I recommend that you feed your spirit every day. This is very important because you are spiritual first. You have been before, you are now, and you always will be. Which also means that if you're not paying attention to feeding the major part of yourself, which is spiritual, you're only physical a short time. You're spiritual always and forever. And if you're not feeding your spirit every day, you're going to go hungry. And this means you feel alone and separate and disconnected. And you're not. You're really not. You're always with Creator. Creator's always with you. You're always supported. Every time you breathe, like we talked about on the last session, every time you breathe in the breath of life. Every time you are inspired by your love and your breath of life. This is also very important for your immune system because it activates this magnificent shelf organ of a diaphragm, and therefore relaxes the entire nervous system by bringing you peace. But we must remember how to belly breathe like babies did before we were scared, and we breathe up here and we think it's normal. So belly breathe, relax the diaphragm, watch how it supports your immune system. And next to your spleen sits this beautiful little organ of a pancreas. Now your pancreas is a 7-inch sea cucumber looking organ in the shape of a smile. Your pancreas job is to release 325 different enzymes after the food leaves the stomach. So what do you think that means when people tell us we don't get enzymes if they don't eat raw food? That's not true, because your pancreas releases a lot of enzymes for you every time you eat. This is important to understand so we don't get ourselves confused. Doesn't mean raw food isn't good for us, but it means that that we have to understand how the pancreas works, because we do get enzymes even if we do eat cooked food. That's true. Okay, and but the pancreas is also your center of happiness, because the ancients called the pancreas the smile in the body. And you know that it's written in every single religious tradition and tribal traditions that mankind is created to have great joy. It does not say great sorrow, manipulation, struggle, and control. It says great joy and happiness. And happiness is your birthright. And you know, I found out recently from one of our graduates that came from Washington, D.C., a historian, that enlightened me on the meaning of the pursuit of happiness written in the Constitution of the United States, which is pursuit means practice. Isn't that awesome? So you are always, every day, making a decision whether you're going to be happy or not, whether you're going to choose happiness in order for your pancreas to remain in a smile. Now, when people are diagnosed with things of pancreatic issues like diabetes or pancreatitis, they take an x-ray, the pancreas looks like it's upside down. So it looks like a frown, which means you've dumped your happiness out. Happiness is a practice. Happiness is worth the effort. Happiness is about changing your mind when you could be angry or sad or having other emotions that are other than happiness. And you know, I want you to also, in your practice of July, practice self-love, absolute, because you want your immune system to be present, and practice happiness. Every chance, have a chance. You have every breath a chance to be happy or not. This is how you end depression, is you get back in the now, because you can't be depressed when you're here. And your pancreas can turn itself back into a smile real easy if we give it the right opportunity. So this month, you know, do everything you can to watch happy movies, love yourself a lot, practice happiness. Happiness is a choice. Make it a right one. Tell your friends and family when you used to be unhappy about certain situations that you're practicing something new, because you want to be an angel here on earth. You want to be a part of the solution and not the problem anymore. And while I have you all your attention, I want to talk just for a moment about the politics going on the planet. And I was just up on top of Mauna Kea for solstice, which was so beautiful and so magnificent, and thank everyone for that journeyed up with us. And then the next day, we had a great opportunity to do a peace and prayer celebration with even the chief of Standing Rock was here on the Big Island of Hawaii. Very powerful and beautiful presence of a man. And his message was very clear about, you know, love everyone, turn it into love. We can have more power with our love than we can with our anger and our fear. And so I want to talk to you about even our President Trump, who seems to be getting a lot of flack. And what I've seen is people are starting to hurt themselves over something that they believe he's doing or not doing. And so what again we need to do is understand that how can we be supportive and change the world when we're not healthy and when we're sick? And so if we're not sending him blessings and sending him love and sending him gratitude and seeing the God in him and his courage to step into shoes like this, which are not easy, then we're really hurting ourselves and our immune system and our kidneys, because that's about judgment and criticism. We're going to be talking about that later. But I want you to understand that even on the top of Mauna Kea, tallest mountain in the world, we laid prayers for him, that we can all see him in his divine self and send him love and gratitude so we don't hurt ourselves, our immune system, and our kidneys, our liver, and our spleen, and our pancreas, because we're unhappy with things that we perceive instead of seeing the good coming. See the good, see the God, see the miracles, watch for them, and let the rest of it go, because you don't need to be unhealthy over behaviors you perceive as that you have no control over. So bless him up, bless yourselves up, bless each other. Send the world all your love, all your power. That's the force to be reckoned with. Don't forget that, beloveds. It lies in your heart, this great power of love. Your spleen is a requirement for your immune system to be healthy and happy. And we need you. We need your love. We need your power. We need your presence right now, not later. So blessings to all of you. We send you great love and gratitude and love. And have fun with our Miracle Body series. We look forward to connecting soon. Many blessings. Angelfarms.com. Aloha.